Hi, welcome to part 2 of Mad Toronto's volunteer orientation. In this video, we'll be going over volunteer expectations, areas of focus. So let's get started. Volunteer expectations. What to expect as a volunteer. So what to expect during events. Most of our events at Mad Toronto are awareness or education events. It involves a considerable interaction with the public, so please be considerate. It requires you to provide information to the public and answer general inquiries from people visiting our booth. When someone approaches our display or booth, do not sit. Be friendly, approachable, and respectful. You can offer a red ribbon, a bookmark, or giveaways. When you give them a red ribbon, ask them to tie the ribbon on their car, their bicycle, backpack, etc. And it's to help raise awareness about impaired driving as a reminder for everyone not to drive impaired. It's also a tribute to victims of impaired driving. You can refer to our 911 campaign bookmark or banner. And that campaign really revolves around citing the possible signs of an impaired driver and remembering to call 911, giving the description of the vehicle, license plate number, location, and travel direction of the vehicle if possible. So at the right, you can see some of our volunteers at our tabling events being professional and courteous. And this is what our tabling events typically look like. Although what the table looks like can change from event to event. When someone approaches the display or the booth, there are talking points that you can use, such as impaired driving is the #1 criminal cause of death in Canada, and in Canada, on average, every day, 4 people are killed and 175 are injured in impairment crashes. We may have interactive displays and material. There's a fatal vision goggles, alcohol, and cannabis. And these are goggles that simulate the perception of impairment under these two different drugs. So for alcohol, there are actually different goggles for different BAC levels, which is blood alcohol content. And so you'll have goggles for lower blood alcohol content, which signifies less impairment, to goggles with higher alcohol content, which signify higher levels of impairment. Now, this will not make you feel drunk, but it will give you the vision of drunkenness. Additionally, there's also a goggle for cannabis impairment, and we have one goggle for that. And again, this does not simulate the feeling of being high under cannabis. However, it will give you the perception. And that's really interesting and important because at the display itself, people can then try to do tasks and see how difficult it is to do that under different BAC levels and just imagine how it will be during driving. There is the Intoxiclock, which is the device used to estimate your level of impairment given your bodily features. So this is really interesting for different types of people that are looking to figure out how many drinks does it actually take me to get impaired and to what BAC level. Areas of focus. Focus on what matters. So this section is divided up into 2 parts. The first part will go over what Mad Canada provides, and the second section will be much more specific to what our chapter at Mad Toronto provides. So let's start with Mad Canada. Mad Canada works to achieve its mission on a number of fronts. They provide victim or survivor services, which are supports and resources for individuals who have lost a loved one or suffered a serious injury. Youth services, which are specialized programming for elementary, middle school, or high school students. There's public awareness and education, which are campaigns to reach out to the public, and how to help improve safety on our roads, waterways, and trails. There's public policy they engage in, which is legislative best practices and countermeasures at both the federal and provincial/territorial levels. And interestingly, there's also technology, which is partnering with international traffic safety organizations, automobile manufacturers, and technology companies to explore technological solutions. So that's just a rough overview of some of the amazing work that Mad Canada does at the national level. Now let's get to the chapter level, which is much more specific to Mad Toronto. At the chapter level, we engage in fundraising, awareness, and education. We have various fundraising events where we hand out red ribbons, information material, and we raise funds through donation/coin boxes. So check out some of the volunteers. and we've taken these images from our own events. So on the right hand side, you can see first and foremost a coin box, and that's what it'll typically look like at our tabling booths. And below you'll see a series of images of our volunteers engaging in different events. You can see that mostly it's tabling events. And we have a diverse group of volunteers of different age groups and backgrounds that are all part of our Toronto community. So most of our outreach events will be tabling events, whether at schools or special city events. And in each tabling event, there might be something interesting and new that we offer. So if you do happen to walk by or see our booth, please step by. We might have some interesting things to show you. And here are some images of our volunteers engaging in that. And again, these can be at different events, from schools to city events to different fundraisers that we participate in. One of them is from a food and wine festival that I participated in. If you ever run into one of our tables, please stop by and check it out. You might even get to take a picture with our social media cutout here. We also engage in an event called Who is Driving You Home? And Who is Driving You Home is an event to showcase how someone could potentially get home. They can get home in an ambulance, in a cop car, in a taxi or an Uber, a TTC bus, or a hearse. So this event really showcases the dangers of impaired driving and the choice that we all have as individuals to avoid that decision of getting behind the wheel impaired, because we do have a lot of choices on how we can get home. We've partnered with the TTC, which is the Toronto Transit Commission, and we've engaged with them in two notable ways. First, we've gone to the TTC bus stations and actually delivered red ribbons to passengers. And recently, we've been putting memorial banners on TTC bus posters. So you can check out some of these pictures here. So these are victims from our own Toronto chapter, and behind them, you can see pictures of their loved ones on the TTC banners. This event is really great because these posters may stay on for quite a while and are shown to drivers across the city. We engage in RIDE, which is our Reduce Impaired Driving Everywhere initiative. And here are some of our volunteers participating in that. We partner with the Toronto Police, Traffic Services, and we go out with them to their ride stops, and we hand out red ribbons and information material to sober drivers that are driving sober and safe. This is a great program. The officers really enjoy our presence, and the drivers are appreciative that we thank them after the fact for driving safe and sober. At the chapter level, we offer victim services, and we support the victims in various ways, explaining the court system and process to victims, attending meetings with the Crown Attorney and court hearings, including pre-trials and trials, explaining victim rights to help prepare victim impact statements and help victims understand sentencing. We are able to explain the difference between civil versus criminal trial processes, and we may advocate for victims if they feel they aren't being treated fairly. All of this, including holding support groups, is spearheaded at our chapter by Carolyn Swinson. So she does amazing work on the back end to support victims. Thanks for watching. I hope you've enjoyed watching this video. Please be sure to like our videos and subscribe to our channel. It really helps us out. If you want to be notified about future content, please be sure to hit the bell icon. If you want to connect with us, there are many ways to do that. You can connect with us on social media. You can send us an email. You can send us a volunteer application, or you can donate to us, which is always very appreciated. All the links are below. Thank you for your time, and we'll see you next time.